Hi, welcome back to Recycled Model Railways. I'm Paul. So, you've seen this picture on the screen. Why have I changed my mind about what I'm doing? Let's get into it and I'll tell you why. Right, so before you click off thinking, oh my god, not another viaduct video, not really. Yes, I'm building a viaduct. No, I'm not going to make you sit and watch me glue every last piece together. I'm not going to do that. I'm going to basically, these kits, I've got 3 kits for the viaduct because I think I'll need 2.5 for the stretch I've got in mind. And each kit you make up 2 arches and then another 2. So what I'm going to do is put 2 together, and then I'm going to come back on and I'm going to show you it. I'm going to tell you what I thought, truthfully what I thought. Was it hard? Was it difficult? Could things have been done easier? What did I learn? Stuff like that. I think that's more important than you just sitting watching me gluing the kit together. There's loads of people done it. So I'm doing this because I saw a guy on YouTube building one for his model railway the other day, and as a lot of you know, I don't have a layout because I don't have the space. All 5 of my children are still at home, so you can imagine my place is quite full. So I get everything ready in preparation for when I become a real old man. I say that because I turned 60 at the back end of March. So when I become a real old man, I've got everything ready. I just need to build the boards, get the track down, and I've got everything for it. I'll have buildings, and I've got all the rolling stock and the wagons and the locos and everything else how I want them for when that time comes. So maybe to some people, that's a little back to front. Why buy all this stuff if you haven't got a layout? Because I like model railways and it gives me something to do when I have some spare time and I enjoy doing it. Why would I wait until I've made the layout and then start hunting? Once I've got the layout on and powered up, I can be running anything I want around that layout immediately because I've got it. Anyway, so I bought these kits yesterday, went out with our Isabel, and we went across to Peters. As some of you are aware, Peters is no more than 10 minutes from me. So we went to Peters, we bought the 3 brick kits. I would have liked the stone one if I'm honest, but he didn't have them in stock, and I thought it doesn't matter, not that important. I am going to look to see if I can weather this thing, and I am going to look to modify it a little bit in places as well. So yeah. And you'll have seen on the picture there's also a signal box. What the hell have you bought a signal box for, Norman? By the way, my first name's Paul, for those of you who will keep calling me Norman. When I say Norman, it's because I'm chastising myself. So, why did you buy a signal box? Well, you'll have to wait and see what my plan is for that. All will be revealed, probably not the end of this video. But what I'm trying to do here is to break things up. I'm sure at the minute you've got fed up with seeing that bloody excavator on that wagon. So I thought I'd do something different and then come back showing the end result with the wagon, and then come back to this and then jump to something else and then come back to this, just so that it's not, oh god, not this again. Because I get a bit like that when I'm watching some videos, and I'm not necessarily about training videos. Sometimes you get a little tired of watching the same thing every week. So let's get on with it, and I will come back to you when I've got something to show you. Make yourself a cup of tea, because it might be hours for me, but unfortunately it won't be hours for you. So why are you making a cup of tea? You'll miss it. Anyway, we'll come back to you. Speak to you in a second. So what have we learned so far? Well, you can read the instructions, but sometimes it might not be as clear as it seems. So, as you can tell by the amount of mess on this one, this was my first go, and this was the second. Been using this stuff. It's very watery. It does set fast, I'll give it that, but it's awfully runny. You know, trying to get a little bit out, just and it's everywhere. But it does the job. It does the job. So, essential things I've learned. Okay, this piece here is part of all of this and the back. Okay, but when you take it out of its frame, there is a piece runs along here and likewise at the other end, and it's got what looks like a fold line. These have got fold lines in them. Everything underneath has a fold line, but I couldn't see anything that said to me cut that off the end, which seemed obvious, but until I'd got this into a position where it didn't want me to do any more work to it, then and only then was I happy to cut this piece off the end. So if you're doing one of these and you see a little strip down each side, cut it off. You don't need it. What else did I find? I suppose the stupidest thing is remembering to fold it the right side. It wants to fold one way only, not anywhere else. So when you're looking at the shiny side, that's the top surface, and everything gets folded to the underside. So it's fairly straightforward. It's just a quick matter of gluing them supports into these, and then when they've dried you put these in, which are the supports for the arches. And all I've done, in all honesty, is once I've got it all glued together, I've run every seam that I can physically get at with the rocket card glue and a brush to spread it. I've literally run the rocket glue at the top, let it run, got my brush, dressed it back up, and made sure that every single one of these joints has got glue to both sides where I can physically get in. You can't always get in, i.e. that one there. You can only glue that from one side because there's no access on the other side. So we've done 2 of them and we've done 2 of these. Now these are something to do with the end caps. I haven't got into it yet. I'm only going to need 2 end caps, but you get 2 with every set. So I've only made the 2 up because that's maybe all I'm going to need. I might want a 3rd one for something I want to do. So there with a piece of cake. Make sure you've got a sharp knife to cut through the cardboard. There's only generally one cut per item you need. I would suggest that with regards to the base cardboard, yes, you can cut it all out from the frames at the beginning, because thankfully they all have marks on to tell you what they are, or in one particular instance it's got 2 lines and it tells you instructions. The pieces that are not marked with a letter is these here, which have 2 lines running through them, and you've just got to make sure you put them facing inside. Now the other thing I would suggest is, if I can just check, you get a sheet E and a sheet F. Okay, sheet E has very skinny frames left on it, okay, and reading ahead on the instructions, you do need some offcuts of card to brace things. So that little lot there is what I cut from sheet, hang on, what did I say? I forgot. From sheet F. 2 F sheets, and I got all of this, which will do for bracing. I think a lot of it is to do with the legs going on, the way they wrap round under the viaduct, blah blah blah. So before you start, if you've cut everything out, before you start throwing them away, chop up your 2 F sheets and make some braces, or some long bits of card, short bits of card, whatever, because you're going to need them later. And if you've thrown them out and they've gone in the bin, and the bin man's been, then you're going to have to use perfectly good card, or if you haven't got any, go and buy some good card to support it that you're not going to see. So what do I think? So far, so good. I've only ever built one Metcalfe kit ever, and that was one that I got free with Railway Model, and it was pretty much fold, bend three edges, glue the last one together, glue a roof on it, and that was it. It was a very basic freebie. So these are a little more intricate. There's a little more thought to them. There is an awful lot of card comes with each set. So what I'm going to do now is I'm going to continue on building the arch structures. So I've done my first pack. All of the stuff that is the dressed brick and detailing, etc., I've put back in its own packet so it doesn't get lost, scratched, or anything else. So I'm going to knock together the rest of the bridges, the rest of the arches, I should say, get them knocked up. I'll show you all 6 of them when I'm done. And I think I'll probably leave it at that, because otherwise it's going to be a really boring long video. So, still not going to tell you what's happening with that signal box. I'll give you the hint. It will be to do with the viaduct. And I also have, from my boxes of bits, these railway fencing, Hornby railway fencing, and I have a little idea about something I want to do with it, but I don't know where I'll end up with it all yet, but I'm fairly certain that I do want to use it, and I will use it, and it'll be kind of connected to the bridge. But anyway, enough of that. Let's get on with these. I'll come back, show you the 6th when all the arches are done, and then we'll call it a day on this video. I'll catch you in a bit. So, we're done. There you go. 6 viaduct sections, 2 end panels. So I will have possibly 12 viaducts. However, I don't think I'm going to need all of them. I'm just glancing at that way, at where it'll go, and I think 5, 6, I think it could be 4.5 or 5.5. I'm thinking 4.5, because it's got to have like the end bits on as well, and I do want the end bits on. So there you go, that's it for today. I told you I wasn't going to bore you while you're watching me make it, but I've explained what's what, told you what to look out for. whkat glue, if you've never used it like me, it's bloody good stuff. It's just really runny. It does help, because when you're wanting to run glue down the seams, it's great. You just drop a little bit at the top and it just drops to the bottom, and then I can just tuck it in nicely with a brush. So I've made sure that every single joint has got extra glue on both sides, where pieces fall down like here, etc. I've even glued the piece where it folded over, because obviously that's thin card. So I've even glued them. Now obviously I've got a lot of these left, because I don't want them all, I don't need them all. What else have I got? Well, yeah, I've got a lot of no, I've got some pieces left, but they're going to be for jointing things with. I'm already thinking about, the paper seems to be cut to fit nicely, and I'm thinking that the top surface, I'm going to half and half it, just to give some, I know it's only paper, but just to give a little bit of strength across the top joint. So there you go. So next time you see this, it'll be looking a little bit more like a viaduct Right now it's a bunch of card, but to be honest, I've enjoyed it. I've never really got stuck into a Metcalfe kit, so it was good, and having a little trip out to Peter's is always fun. I always end up buying a lot more than I actually went for. And on that note, if you go to a model railway shop and you happen to take one of your children, even though she's 16 years of age, she's busy looking around the shop and taking pictures of figures like monks and people in wheelchairs, and one was a lady with her trousers round her knees having a pee. That one she found very, very funny. But then while I'm at the counter paying for everything I've bought, the next thing I know, she's like, "Oh Dad, look at this, isn't it cute?" Well, when she uses the word cute, you kind of know that means you're buying it. And when I turned round, it was a double-decker bus in pink. So the only reason she liked it was because it was in pink. And thankfully I didn't have Grace with me, otherwise they'd have been fighting. If there was only one, and if there'd have been two, then I'd have had to buy one for her and all, because she likes pink even more than Grace would. More than Isabel would, sorry. So yeah, think about it when you go in the model shop. I know we want to try and get young uns into it, but sometimes you will come out with stuff that isn't going on your layout that you didn't expect to buy. Peter was happy. I told him not to buy any more pink items in, to which he laughed at me and said he'd order a lot more. Thanks, Peter. Anyway, I'm going to go, folks. Thanks for the new subscribers coming in. Like I say, I'm not wanting to be a YouTube hound, but it is nice to see a little trickle in now and again, once every couple of weeks or whatever, somebody new joining on board. So if that's you, thank you very much. Thank you to everybody else who's still subscribing and still putting up with me. And just thanks for watching. We'll catch you on the next one. Bye for now.